John Ulzheimer is known as one of our nation's most recognized credit experts. Having worked for 28 years in the credit industry, John has become one of the most prolific speakers about credit and the go-to authority on answers to credit-related questions. Credit Countdown with John Ulzheimer.
Hey there, this is John Ulzheimer, stuck in Atlanta traffic. And I'm a consumer credit expert. I have decades of experience in the credit industry. Today's topic is going to be about checking your own credit score and what is the danger of checking your own credit score. For some reason, I don't know where this myth comes from, but it's a really hard one to get rid of. There's this kind of myth floating around in the internet world that by checking your own credit reports or checking your own credit scores that you're somehow going to harm your credit scores by doing so. And so I think I know where this comes from. So number one, if you go out and apply for credit somewhere with a lender legitimately, they're going to pull a credit report and it's going to leave behind a little breadcrumb called a credit inquiry. And an inquiry is simply a record of access into your credit report. So the inquiry information is going to include the date that your credit report was accessed and who accessed it. So if you applied for a loan with Wells Fargo and they pulled your credit report today, you would have a Wells Fargo inquiry on your credit report dated today. And that would indicate that you applied for something with Wells Fargo. That's the whole reason the inquiry exists, is it gives you, the consumer, the ability to see who is accessing your credit report and when. That's important to know because it helps for you to make sure that there are no fraudulent applications that have been submitted. So valid inquiry versus an inquiry that was caused by fraud. Hard inquiries, meaning those that are from the variety of when someone actually does apply for credit, they have the ability to lower credit scores. Doesn't mean that they all lower credit scores. If you ever read something that represents that they always lower credit scores, that's factually inaccurate. They can, but they don't always impact credit scores. So I think this issue of checking your own credit reports and the potential for it to harm your credit reports comes from the issue of credit inquiries. When you check your own credit report, it will in fact leave behind an inquiry. And the inquiry is going to indicate that you accessed your own credit report. That type of inquiry is called a soft inquiry. Soft inquiries are benign to credit scores. You can have 1,000 of them and you're not going to have any issues with your credit scores because credit scoring systems, those built by FICO, those built by VantageScore, they do not see and they do not consider soft credit inquiries. So checking your own credit report from the authorized sources, and I'll get into that in a minute because that's also important. Checking your own credit reports and scores from authorized sources will not lead to lower credit reports or credit scores. All right, authorized sources. Here's the deal. When you check your own credit report or credit score, make sure you're doing it from an authorized source, which means annualcreditreport.com or any one of the variety of websites where you can get your credit reports and scores. There are countless lenders and websites that'll give away free credit scores. Most of your lenders are probably giving away free credit scores. If you look at the app or go online, you'll see that they give you the ability to check your score through them, which is a score that they likely have purchased for account management use and have been given permission to repurpose it and essentially give it away to the consumer. Those are all authorized sources, meaning that if you check your credit reports and scores from any of those inventory of places, A, it may not leave an inquiry at all because you may just be checking a credit score that some lender already checked because you have an existing account with them, so there's no secondary inquiry, or it's going to leave a soft inquiry indicating that your information has been disclosed to you. Here's the scenario where checking your own credit can harm your credit scores. There's two of them that are, I wouldn't say common, but when it does happen, it's usually one of these two. Number one is you have a friend that works at a car dealership and you've asked your buddy, hey, do you mind running my credit? I want to see what my credit score is. When they do that, everybody thinks you applied for a car loan because the inquiry on your credit report is going to be from the car dealership. So they're going to think you applied for a car loan, and yes, that can have an impact on your score. Number two, if you have a buddy who's a mortgage broker, so you contact your buddy who's a mortgage broker, hey man, you mind pulling my credit? I'm interested to see what my scores are. And they do so, and mortgage brokers actually commonly will pull all three credit reports and scores for the purposes of legitimately underwriting a mortgage application. So you may end up actually with inquiries on all of your credit reports if you do that. Again, everyone thinks that you've just applied for a mortgage loan. Don't do it that way. Stick with the authorized sources. That's going to leave the soft inquiries on your credit reports, and you're never going to have an issue. And yes, you should be doing that periodically. Your credit reports are way too important for you to turn your back on them for any extended period of time. So check your credit reports, check your credit scores, but only do it from authorized sources. By the way, all those places are free, so you're not going to have to buy any of this information. There's so many free places to get that stuff these days. So if you have any questions about checking your credit reports, drop them in the comment section. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk again soon. Have a good day.
For more videos and credit tips from John Ulzheimer, go to www.tradelinesupply.com.